Okay, so like I said, it is lovely to see everybody, and we'd like to obviously introduce what we've been working on for a number of days, months, and years in the making. We hope that you'd like to come along with us on the next chapter, and for people that are on this session tonight that's never been to a flash mob event or any of the stuff that you've done before. Enjoy, and hopefully you like the look of it and want to come along. So we're going to be talking about the launch of the House of PMO, and as you probably have already seen, a couple of months ago we did a kind of soft launch because of the new book that we had out, which is the PMO competency framework, and that's been part of the push on to some of the stuff that we've been doing up to now. So it's the Eileen and I that are talking tonight and just taking you through exactly what the House of PMO is and what it's going to be offering to PMO people. So for people that don't know me, I've been in and around PMOs for a long time. Actually used to be a PMO manager a long time ago now. Unfortunately, it's like late 1990s, early 2000s, and then became a PMO recruiter for my own business, but always kept in with PMO stuff, so doing some careers advice type things. Flash Mob came along, conference, PMO learning, House of PMO. So it's all been very PMO related, and I'll show you a little bit of a history behind where we started in terms of getting PMO people together. But that's me, Eileen.
Hiya. So I need to get into marketing so I can get a better picture of myself. So my name's Eileen Roden. I've known Lindsay. Funny enough, Lindsay and I met at a PMO event of all things, and have known each other for a long time and did some things separately, and have been working together kind of much more closely together over the last kind of 3 to 4 years. So I also am an ex-PMO manager. But a lot of my time after I left being a PMO was actually being as a consultant or a trainer and a coach, predominantly working with PMOs and helping them set up PMOs and improve project and program management capability within their organization. So again, I have worked with Lindsay on the competency framework. I was also lead author of P3O Best Management Practice, and spent quite a bit of my time working with organizations using that methodology as well, and have been involved with Flash Mob Conference, and certainly kind of the learning in the House of PMO is taking all of our time. And I'm just kind of quite conscious, Lindsay and I might sound a bit quite tired tonight, but we are kind of really excited about launching the House of PMO, and hopefully making the next kind of few chapters of working together and working with the community that has been built up over the last few years really exciting and rewarding for everybody who gets involved.
But why are we doing it, and why here and why now? As I said when I introed myself really briefly, that I've been, and there's a few other people on the session tonight as well, have been in and around pulling together events and things for PMO people for a number of years, and it goes back to actually 2003 when I got involved in a group, a voluntary group called PPSO, which then changed its name a little bit later to PMO SIG. So shout out to the ex-chairman that's on the call, Chris. He was. We basically got together. It came out of a qualification called the BCS PPSO Essentials and Advanced Certification, and basically the person that created those certification thought it'd be a good idea to get people together that perhaps had done the course and wanted to basically chat really about the role, because back then, early 2000s. PMO was a very different world. There wasn't a lot of them around, and if you did work in a PMO, you probably felt that you were quite alone. There was only maybe one of you or two of you within an organisation. And to be fair, I think that's still the case now. There's quite a lot of PMOs out there that is only still like one or two people. But we got involved because basically I got a lot out of it. That I really enjoyed talking to people. It was always great to meet other people that did the role. They're very different to project and program managers, not that I need to tell you lot, but I just felt that it was a really nice, friendly group, and we did it for a number of years, and that's essentially where I met Eileen. But from then, we rebranded it a little bit and it became PMO SIG to move with the times. So about 2011, we were actually approached by APM, Association for Project Management. As many of you all know, that they have specific interest groups. They didn't have a PMO one then, and they approached us as a voluntary group of people. They could see some of the events and things we were putting on for people, the kind of buzz that was happening, and thought, you know, would you become part of the APM SIG family and basically move into the APM and carry on running the group, which is what we did for a couple of years. And, you know, by all accounts, just carried on doing some great events and some conferences and things like that. One of the things that you find, though, when you're working with a larger association like that, especially one that is more focused on project managers, perhaps the light's not shining as much on PMOs, and perhaps you don't get as much backing as maybe as you'd like to go out and explore and do some things that might be a little bit different, a bit novel. So that's where we decided to, well, I certainly left that and thought, well, flash mob is a weird word. And putting that together with PMO is even more weird. But we thought, but what's missing is that what's always been great about getting people together is that it doesn't have to be boring and it doesn't have to be very corporate in its feel. And actually we can get together and we can just go for a drink in a pub and just have a chat about the job that we do rather than doing things really formally. But that was 2013 and we've been in various pubs in London and boats on the Thames and all sorts of stuff. And then from there, we found that there was a lot of, you know, that people were enjoying themselves a lot. But, you know, we found that people did still want to have, maybe learn something and maybe a little bit formally where we're not having to shout at each other in a pub. So we started doing events in corporate buildings and whatnot. But also then a few years later, 2015, it's like, well, why have we not got a conference? One that's, you know, a really good, big conference where we can get people together and listen to sessions and learn and do all those kind of things that, you know, that project managers enjoy their project conferences, but we want something that's famous specifically for PMO. So we've done that too, and that's been going since 2015. For all this time, we've been doing reports, we pull together reports on key themes, you know, and also have events where, you know, we're having some fun as well, and we'll show you and just remind some of the people that are maybe on this session that have been to some of the things we've done. But if you're not aware of the kind of the feel of what it is we do, we'll certainly show you a little bit. Which brings us to the current day, which is what next for us. And I think one of the key catalysts which has kind of kicked me and Eileen on a bit is the PMO competency framework. It's suddenly we have a piece of work that has been 3 years in the making, has been really well received, not just by individuals like yourself, but the corporates as well, that have been looking for this for a long time. The problem that we've always had is that nobody takes PMO Flash Mob seriously in terms of its name and its branding and the kind of, you know, the fun, edgier side to it. And we thought, well, you know, we've always said that Flash Mob was all about bringing the people together, the networking side of it. And that needs to sit under an umbrella of other things that we wanted to do. Some of the more serious and more formal things, with the competency framework starting to kick us off with that. So Eileen, have I missed anything in terms of where we come from and potentially where we are, you know?
No, I think the only thing that I would, I think the only thing that I would add to that is recognition of everybody who's contributed, and I think that kind of culminated in the competency framework all the way along the journey of the flash mob and the conference. This not just been Lindsay and a few others kind of working towards and putting on events. We have all had a huge number of volunteers and contributors who have made it what it is today. So, you know, this is not just a kind of a company that Lindsay and I are setting up. This is about the community and making a place for the community to continue to come together.